Yo, what's going on, DZ Team? It's Z here. Welcome back to another radio video where we're still going over the Baofeng radio. Now, if you're new here, my name is Jacob Zamora. I'm the founder of Dropzone Tactical Firearms Training Academy here based in Texas. And with that being said, I have a prior military background as a field artillery paratrooper, and one of my main jobs was radio communication. So I'm not saying I'm the best in the world about it, I'm the expert of it, but I've spent a lot of time with radios out in the field, out deployments in Afghanistan, things of that nature. So I'm going to speak on to how to set up your radio today for tactical operations, but not necessarily 100% what I would do, even though I've already done it to my radio. I'm going to do it in relation to the famous social media book that's going around, which is the Guerrilla's Guide to the Baofeng. Now, if you have this, fantastic. You can get all of this stuff on Amazon itself. All right. But basically, I'm going to be going through all these menus here. Here's how to quick way to program it. I'm going to be going through all these menus here just as the author does in this book. So you don't have to buy it if you don't want to. And you can set up your radio today if you have the radio and not the book. All right. So first, we need to know how to get to the menu section and break down the menus, right? In order to get to the menu section, what we want to do with our radio, the first thing that we want to do is turn on the radio. Boom, right? Some of you may have a light, some of you may have turned it off, okay? To get to the menu section here, all we're going to do is press menu. Just that easy, and it's going to pop up with your number 1 page or your 0 page. Right there, or you can see that number blinking. That's how we're going to identify what page we're on. Okay, makes sense. So turn on the radio, hit your menu button. There'll be a little small blinking, flashing number, whether it's 0, 1, whatever, on the right-hand side. And then I'm going to just say, hey, menu 0. This is what we're going to be editing. And then I'm going to tell you based on what this book is recommending for you. All right. Groovy. Okay, so again, this is quick programming in the menu option. So the first thing, menu 0, the one we were just on, is your squelch. Squelch is simply a filter that keeps the radio from being keyed up from weak signals. Since you want to hear most number of signals while not listening to static, keep the squelch set at a 1. Now, menu 1, going on to menu 1, right? Squelch is number 1. Now, menu 1, step. So step for frequency step or frequency step, the spacing between specific frequencies is what menu 1 is. This is more important for the scanning feature. I suggest setting it to a 6.25 hertz. So menu 1, 6.25. Go ahead and click the up or down arrows to do that. Now, menu 2, TXP or transmitting power, right? This basically allows you to up your wattage or lower your wattage based on how much output you want to put, right? So low emits about 1 watt, high emits 4 watts and 8 watts. And then if you can even have a higher wattage, it can even go up to 10 watts, depending on the model of Baofeng that you have. Now, some of the higher powered Baofengs, such as the 8 HP and the AR-152 have a medium and high setting. In general rule of thumb, for sustainment communication, the highest power setting is good to go. For tactical or clandestine purposes, the low power setting is more favorable to prevent interception. Now, I totally agree with that. Depending on your environment, you don't want to just output all the power in the world. One, to drain your battery life a lot more, and 2, sometimes you can overshoot signals, right? It's too powerful and you're too close. Something to kind of think about there. So, TXP, put it on the lower setting for more tactical operations. Now, if you really need to reach out and touch somebody, up that wattage a little bit more. Just make sure the other radio is mirroring that setting. Menu 4, Vox. So Vox is voice activation. So basically when you speak into the radio, you don't have to click the push to talk. This is not really optimal for tactical operations unless you're not going to be able to key in a lot. If you have a command center, you're going to want push to talk. They don't want to hear you chewing gum or whatever, breathing on the mic, all right? So for Vox, you can keep that set to off. Now, menu 7, TDR, transmit and dual receive. This specifically enables the radio to receive on both display frequencies at once. This is a requirement for split mode operations, i.e. receiving on one frequency and transmitting on another as a simple means of communication security. All right, so make sure it is enabled. TDR is enabled in menu 7. Menu 8, beep, the beep feature. That one's kind of self-explanatory. As you key in stuff, there's a little audio cue that hits over. For tactical operations, we want to have a noise and light discipline, so turn that off. Menu 9, TOT or timeout timer. So what this specific does, and this is in menu 9, this allows you to prevent hot miking feature. So you'll see a 60 number on there and some other numbers on there as well. Mine and this book also recommends to send it for 60, which is 60 seconds. It basically keys out your walkie past 60 seconds. So if you go to 60, if you're talking and talking and talking, 60 seconds goes by, and then on that 61 second, it stops automatically. So you're not hot miking. You don't have team members laying on the radio or whatever, hot miking that microphone, and then having to deal with hot mic, and trying to key in on the dead spots there. All right, moving into menu 10, DCS and CTCSS. These control the sub-audible tones emitted and received by the radio. CTCSS in particular can be used as a simple means to prevent communications jamming, but is easily picked up by communication receivers or frequency counters. The most frequent use for this in the United States and for the amateur radio repeater operator, which are marked as PL tones. These are set to prevent accidental activations of the repeater, where many of the same uplinks and download link frequencies overlap one another in a given area. Set all of them to off to avoid confusion in the field. And this is 10 through 13. Menu 10 through 13, shut things off. Menu 14, voice. This is basically cycling through the English and or Chinese voice tones that you hit that you've probably been experiencing already, messing with your menu. Shut those off. Noise and light discipline. You don't want to be pressing stuff and have a voice come out of that speaker box. Menu 23, BCL is your backlight. Now, obviously, when I turned mine on, I had it on so you guys can see, and you can kind of see it, right? For now, I put it on the orange setting because typically the redder tones have a shorter wavelength as far as light travel goes. So it's harder to see at night, but does not make it impossible. Typically, if you're going to do operations, you can wear a red headlamp or things of that nature and look at the screen itself. You might want to turn it off if you're doing night operations. So the book recommends to shut it off for tactical operations. Kind of up to you, discretion on that part. Menu 25, SFT-D. This controls the standard offset or repeater functions if you're not using repeaters, also known as simplex operation, and what the bulk of the manual covers. This book specifically set this to off. Menu 26, offset. This controls the offset frequency itself. The standard amateur radio frequency offsets for VHF and UHF repeaters are all at 000.600, which is 600 kilohertz, if I'm saying that right, and 005.0005 megahertz. Or millihertz, whatever, small and hertz, respectively. If you're setting up your own repeater system, as covered in the 6th chapter, which I'm not getting into today, you can set your own offset known only for your group. It's just subtraction, basically, of two different frequencies that you see. You're transmitting and you're receiving. Menu 29-31, LED controls. These control the backlight being triggered by either transmitting or receiving. The settings are blue, orange, purple, and off. As the menu 23, the book tells you to set it off. Again, it's just that backlight stuff. Menu 39, Roger is what it's called. This function controls what is, at least in my opinion, says the book, the most annoying feature of the radio, the Roger beep. It's a tone that gets transmitted after someone is done transmitting. It should be set to off on all radios, what the book says. It's like when you're keying in the mic and you hear the beep, the beep kind of thing. And then menu 40 is your reset. It's one of the most important features on the radio. If you ever needed to zero out your radio and completely reset it and just start from ground zero once again. Or if you mess something up, you feel like you can't recover it, press that, reset it, and then you can go back to this video as I'm reading off these menus and redo the whole process. So that is everything that it tells you to do in the menus function. Now on my specific radio, I have the same functions, but notice how mine doesn't speak. Doesn't speak. When I hit my menus and my buttons, it does not change anything, right? You don't hear anything or things of that nature. So hopefully this video was informational for you guys on the Gorilla's Guide to Baofeng radios. If you want me to do some more videos on this, which I'm probably going to do, let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. If you're setting up your radio, what difficulties did you have setting this up? Was it pretty easy? Was it self-explanatory? Or did you learn something new today? Let me know down in the comments below, because I want to do more radio stuff for you guys and more informational stuff for you guys when it comes to utilizing tactics, communication, considering that was one of my main jobs in the military. But hope you enjoyed this video. Share with anybody you think would benefit from this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.